Okay, check, check, check. Let's see if my mic fucking works this time. And that's a fucking yes. Okay. Flip back to the start of this chapter. And let's get into it. Alright. Little shits and motherfuckers. We are now going to go over chapter 29, which is World War II. Slash everything that was before World War II slash the consequences of World War II. It's World War II, motherfuckers. So, first we're going to talk about Stalin, who basically just came in and now he's taking over fucking Russia and implementing this shit called 5-year plans. Now these fucking 5-year plans are going to go in and they're going to industrialize Russia faster than fucking Sonic the Hedgehog can snort cocaine and drive up and run up a fucking building, alright? This shit was fast, and it was gonna do shit, alright? Right. So he would pull peasants from the farms and just start building a shit ton of factories, industrializing as fast as fucking possible so that he could just have shit and make Russia great again, right? Good. It was never really that good. Let's be fucking honest. Anyway, and then the other revolutionary thing was the collectivization of agriculture, which meant that we would take all the farms and say, now all the fucking farms belong to me, you little shits. You can't have this shit back. It's mine. You will all work together on it. Give me food and keep whatever I don't fucking want. So a couple of people understandably said, fuck you, maybe. And then Stalin said, well, fuck you too. And then executed all the kulaks, which were the people who, resisted. Kulaks, Kulaks. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, also, famine was a thing because since Stalin killed off most of the good farmers, and it kind of left all the shitty-ass farmers to do their farming. And since they were shitty-ass farmers, they got jack shit and food-wise, right? So most of them were sent to the factories, and then the rest of them had bad harvests, which meant, you fucked, bitch. Alright. Right. So basically what happened was, in Russia's industrialization happened, collectivization of farms, people died. A lot of people died. Also, Stalin also did these things called the Purge Trials, where he took all the old people that kind of sort of worked for him and also kind of hated them and killed them by putting them on trial and saying, hey, you totally are you're fucking treasonous. And they're like, I don't think I am. And he just tortures them for a couple of weeks. And he's like, so, are you ready to say you're a traitor now? Yes, I'm ready to say I'm a traitor, and then they get killed. Fucking rip. And also, a bunch of people were sent to the gulags. Pretty sure you know what a fucking gulag is, bitch. Which is basically a labor camp. I'm pretty sure you know how to fucking spell that shit. If you don't, look it up, bitch. You don't know how to type it in? Type it in like you say it. It'll autocorrect, you ass. So, but all these brutal methods basically made Russia into a fucking badass within, kind of like a decade. While, like, all the Western nations were floundering about in depression, going like, fucking kill me. And then, that's not how it fucking works. So, fuck that shit. And so while Russia's over here industrializing their ass, America's over here, being fucking stupid. And just Black Thursday, the stock market died, and then banks collapsed, and it was basically a huge fucking depression in history. Okay, and so America's like, let's put some tariffs in. They call it the Smoot-Hawley tariff, SmoothaWley tariff. And then basically I made the other countries go, well, let's make a fucking tariff. And then all making high, expensive ass tariffs, and so world trade dropped by 62%, and everybody's fucked. So, wait, where the fuck am I? Alright. So basically what happened was, now you got FDR elected. He's gonna do a new fucking deal. It's gonna be the best fucking thing in the fucking world. I should have a fuck counter. Just the counter in the top right corner is like every time I say fuck, 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 fuck. Anyway, so like America, Britain, France, even though they're completely fucking destroying, like they're in a deep ass depression, they can't do jack fucking shit. They still have a democracy for some fucking reason. You know what? I appreciate you, person who's watching this at 9:40. 9:40. I appreciate you. That's a fucking. That's a fucking. That's a dedicated watcher right there. Anyway, and then other people like Germany and Japan basically just had dictators take over because, you know, who the fuck's gonna stop them in the middle of a fucking economic depression? So, in the non-industrial regions like Asia, Latin America, and Africa, they just get fucked, basically. And also, military officers take over in Latin America, and South Africa is the only place anywhere besides Russia that's doing good. Cool. Fascism. That's a fucking thing. First, it was Benito Mussolini who started the fascist movement, which is basically aggressive nationalism and him making a dictatorship. And oh fucking boy. Hey, and then he just controlled movies and radio bulletins, and then he was whipping up nationalism and public enthusiasm, and then all sorts of other radicals across the fucking world are going like, let's look at this dude. That's some pretty cool fucking techniques. And then at the same time, there's this guy named Adolf Hitler going like, das ist gut. Ich muss haben. So, Adolf Hitler, motherfucker. You know, so he creates a thing called the fucking Nazi. He creates the fucking Nazis, the National Socialist German Workers' Party, writes Mein Kampf, and he says we gotta have the fucking Lebensraum, room to live, and then he basically is like, we gotta conquer other people so we have shit. It's gonna be the fucking best thing in the fucking world. Clearly he's better than I am, otherwise he wouldn't have controlled most of Germany by propaganda alone, basically. And so, in 1933, he becomes Chancellor, gets dictatorial powers, and creates the Third Reich. And says, alright, motherfuckers, we are going to be the fucking best. And so they did massive public works projects, businesses, unemployment was low, businesses booming, and so like the Germans are like, rights or money? Fuck it, money, bitch. Fuck bitches, get money. Smoke weed every day. Okay. And so but that wasn't the last fucking plan. So Hitler wants to conquer everything, right? And so he's like, do y'all motherfuckers mind if I break this treaty over here? And they're like, no. Alright, you mind if we take over Poland over here? And Britain and France like, no. What about Czechoslovakia? No. And Hitler's like, I can do fucking anything. Because the policy of appeasement just let Hitler do whatever the fuck they wanted. And so at the Munich conference, Britain and France finally went for the last time, sure, do whatever the fuck you want. It's not like I'm gonna stop you. And so Hitler did whatever the fuck he wanted. And he made an alliance with the Soviet Union saying, you don't attack me, I don't attack you. We're gonna be fucking good, bro. And so, they were on point. Hitler's on his way to start conquering shit, you know, until the end of World War, you know, how he lost and all that shit. But, moving on, apparently, to East Asia. Because East Asia. Okay, so let's just go through these chapters, these paragraphs. Japan conquers Manchuria, nobody gives a fuck. Mao Zedong takes control of the Communist Party, fights off Kuomintang, does the long march into the mountains, and Chang's like, fuck it. 1937, 1945, Japanese attack Chinese, and then they're all just fighting for a shit long time, while the communists be like, hey, we're doing shit, And look at the Democratic government, the Guomindang. What the fuck are they doing? The Guomindang are just conscripting people like fucking crazy and doing nothing and taxing high and being complete shitheads. Otherwise known as asshats. I forgot the leader of the Guomindang. So that's the Chinese asshat. So the Chinese asshat basically was like, was basically just trying to, not even trying to fucking fight, like the Japanese. He just escaped with the government into some mountains and built up a huge army to fight the communists later. Not even to fight the Japanese, just to fight the communists later. So, he also made the government print money. Chinese asshat. The worst asshat. Oh, I also found his name. It's Chiang Kai-shek. Chinese asshat. Alright, so now I'm gonna get into the actual fucking war. And there are 5 pages on the European World War. That's fucking cool. Alright, let's go through the battles and shit. So, basically, what Germany's doing, Blitzkrieg. They attack as fast as fucking possible with everything. They're like just like throwing millions of men and planes and trucks and tanks and all this shit at wherever the fuck they want to attack. And they're like, "The fucking die, bitch!" And then they generally died, until the end of the war when they couldn't do that. So fucking rip. And so let's see. Hitler. 1940s conquer in 1939, 1940s conquers Poland, Denmark, Norway, Netherlands, Belgium in less than 2 months. May he attacks France. France gets fucking destroyed. And by the end of June 1940, Hitler controls everything in Europe between Russia and Spain. And then they try to attack Britain in the Battle of Britain with a shit ton of Air Force units. But it kind of fucking fails because the Royal Air Force is using fucking radar and code breaking to be like, there's the fucking planes, let's shoot them the fuck down. And so they got shot the fuck down, or they just took the bombs and went like, fuck it, we're gonna fight you anyway. And so Hitler was like, shit. So he said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna chaos. And so he decides to attack the Soviet Union because, he's very clearly a smart man. So June 1941, he just throws everything, basically, at the Soviet Union. 3 million soldiers, thousands of planes and tanks and shit. And so they got, like, right up to Moscow and Leningrad until winter came and went like, go fuck yourself, bitch. And then all this shit broke down and they started getting killed. And then when they tried to attack Stalingrad, when they attacked Stalingrad, the Russians basically went like, fuck you, we will fight for every single piece of this city. And so they did, until they eventually had more units than the Germans, and the Germans were like, shit. Also, there was fights in North Africa too. Italy and Germany were destroyed by the British. And then the last one, the one that you need to know for the quiz probably is the El Alamein one, or Elalamein in northern Egypt, where Montgomery defeats Erwin Rommel. Boom. War in Asia and the Pacific was basically was characterized by this. Yamamoto, commander of the Japanese, he said, "If I am told to fight regardless of the consequences, I shall run wild for the first 6 months or a year. I'll have utterly no confidence for the second or third year. I hope that you will endeavor to avoid a Japanese-American war." So, with the advice from this big admiral, the Japanese war cabinet promptly went into a Japanese-American war. They got butt fucked. Okay, let's see. Major battles are Pearl Harbor, no shit. Battle of Midway, where Japan lost like all of its aircraft carriers, and then they basically just got fucked. They were also prevented from attacking more into Australia, and just more past, what they had gotten in their first push for land in Asia. Yeah. And now we're at the end of the war. So basically, eventually, Russia just started throwing more and more and more and more and more things at the Eastern Front until people died. And, you know, that was that was a rather effective strategy. And there was this thing called D-Day, where the Allies landed a shit ton of forces into France by boat and kind of just destroyed Germany by pure numbers and power. And they just pushed back until Hitler committed suicide and Germans surrendered. Then in the Pacific War, planes basically started bombing the fuck out of them until they dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, basically preventing them from having to send millions of men onto the Japanese homeland and have them die. You know, sucks. This is basically a cheat code. Just, yeah. Basically a fucking cheat code. Just microtransactions, man. Buy atomic bomb, instantly win the game. Easy fucking money. Alright, in China, after the Japanese left, the Kuomintang went like, hey, let's fight the communists. And the communists went like, get fucked. So they got fucked. Alright. Let's see, what else? Character warfare. The shit that happened during the war. Technology was a thing. They got better fucking planes. They also created the atomic bomb. And also bombing raids killed a shit ton of civilians. And there's that thing called the Holocaust, Auschwitz and other shit, where they just killed millions and millions of Jews because Germany wanted, purity of the race. And the home front in Europe and Asia was just getting bombed and trying to build shit. It was pretty fucking terrible. While the home front in the United States was, let's finally go back to work after a depression for like a fucking decade and a half. Oh man, what? We're having jobs and we get to build shit? We don't have to lose a lot of men in a war? What? This is fucking amazing. And it kind of was. Except for that fact when they, interned Japanese people because they were dicks. You just gotta fear the spies, even though they're, American citizens and been American citizens and, fucking stupid. But yeah. Also, the environment's fucked. Kind of because, war, and so all the environments were taken advantage of, and all the environments were destroyed, basically. And, when you kind of get bombed repeatedly, that's not too good for the trees. And so that was chapter 29 in about 18 minutes.